What if the journey to understanding your deepest self lies not in the external world, but in the uncharted depths of your own mind? Carl Jung, one of the 20th century's most profound thinkers, believed exactly that. His Red Book, a record of his descent into the unconscious between 1914 and 1930, is a testament to this inner quest, a blend of psychology, spirituality, and alchemy that reveals the path to wholeness. Jung's work bridges the ancient art of alchemy with modern science, showing how transforming the soul can lead to a more integrated, meaningful life. This journey will explore Jung's insights from the Red Book, connect them to neuroscience on creativity and self-discovery, and offer practical ways to apply these ideas in your own life. We'll also examine how Jung's vision has influenced global thought, from psychology to spirituality. Let's break this down in 6 steps, diving into the alchemy of the soul and its power to guide us toward unity. No fluff, just real insights to help you navigate the inner world. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Jung's Inner Journey. Carl Gustav Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist born in 1875, is best known for concepts like the collective unconscious, archetypes, and individuation, the process of becoming whole. But his most personal work, the Red Book, remained unpublished until 2009, nearly 50 years after his death in 1961. Jung began this project in 1914, during a tumultuous period following his break with Sigmund Freud in 1913. Facing a midlife crisis and the chaos of World War I, Jung experienced what he called a confrontation with the unconscious, a period of intense visions and inner turmoil that he feared might be psychosis. Instead of suppressing these experiences, he embraced them, documenting them in a series of black notebooks before transcribing them into a large red leather volume adorned with his own illustrations. Hence the name The Red Book. The Red Book, or Liber Novus, New Book, spans over 200 pages of calligraphy, paintings, and dialogues with inner figures like Philemon, a wise old man who became Jung's spiritual guide. Jung described this work as his most difficult experiment, a descent into the depths of his psyche to encounter the archetypes, universal symbols like the shadow, the anima, and the wise old man, that shape human experience. My soul, where are you?" he wrote in the opening pages, a question that set the tone for his quest. Over 16 years, Jung used a technique he called active imagination, engaging with these inner figures through dialogue and visualization to explore the unconscious, seeking what he termed the spirit of the depths. Jung's journey wasn't just personal. It was a response to the spiritual crisis he saw in the modern world. He believed that the rise of materialism and the decline of religious meaning had left humanity disconnected from the soul. The Red Book became his attempt to rediscover that connection, blending psychology with mysticism and alchemy. Its publication in 2009, edited by Sonu Shamdasani, revealed a side of Jung that was both visionary and deeply human, offering a map for anyone seeking wholeness in a fragmented world. Chapter 2. The Alchemical Path. Jung's Red Book is steeped in the symbolism of alchemy, the ancient practice of transforming base metals into gold, which he saw as a metaphor for psychological transformation. In the 1920s, Jung began studying alchemical texts, such as those of Paracelsus and the Rosarium Philosophorum, realizing that alchemists weren't just seeking physical gold. They were describing the transformation of the soul. In his 1944 work, Psychology and Alchemy, Jung wrote, "The alchemists were seeking the treasure of treasures, the divine in man." He saw alchemy as a spiritual process, with stages like nigredo, blackening, facing the shadow, albedo, whitening, purification, and rubedo, reddening, integration, mirroring the journey to wholeness. In the Red Book, Jung used alchemical imagery to describe his own inner work. During his visions, he encountered figures like the serpent and the lion, symbols of transformation in alchemy, representing the raw, instinctual forces of the unconscious. He described a process of cooking these forces, much like an alchemist in a laboratory, to integrate them into his conscious self. "I had to accept the formless into form," he wrote, reflecting the alchemical goal of uniting opposites, light and dark, masculine and feminine, conscious and unconscious, into a unified whole. Jung's alchemical path, as depicted in the Red Book, is a journey of individuation, becoming a complete integrated self. He believed that modern people, disconnected from their inner depths, suffer from fragmentation, neurosis, anxiety, and a sense of meaninglessness. By facing the unconscious, as the alchemist did, we can transform our base selves into gold, a state of wholeness where all parts of the psyche are harmonized. This process, Jung argued, is universal, a quest that transcends time and culture, offering a path to inner peace. Chapter 3. Science of the Unconscious. Jung's exploration of the unconscious in the Red Book aligns with modern neuroscience, particularly in how creativity and self-discovery engage the brain. A 2022 study in Neuroscience Letters found that practices like active imagination, visualizing, and dialoguing with inner figures, as Jung did, increase activity in the brain's default mode network, DMN, by 15%. The DMN, active during daydreaming and self-reflection, is linked to creativity and insight, allowing the brain to make novel connections. Participants in the study reported 12% higher levels of self-awareness after 4 weeks, suggesting that engaging the unconscious can lead to deeper self-understanding. Active imagination also reduces stress. A 2023 Journal of Behavioral Medicine study showed that visualization practices decrease cortisol levels, the stress hormone, by 10%, as the brain shifts from a fight or flight state to a relaxed, creative one. This mirrors the effects of meditation, which Jung practiced during his Red Book years. A 2021 mindfulness study found that meditation increases alpha brainwaves associated with relaxation by 18%, enhancing emotional regulation and reducing anxiety by 15%. Jung's method of facing the unconscious, rather than suppressing it, aligns with these findings. By engaging with our inner world, we can transform fear into insight. Jung's alchemical metaphor of transformation also finds parallels in neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. A 2022 Frontiers in Psychology study showed that practices like active imagination and self-reflection strengthen neural pathways in the prefrontal cortex, improving decision-making and emotional resilience by 12%. This scientific validation of Jung's work suggests that the quest for wholeness isn't just spiritual. It's a biological process, reshaping the brain to integrate the conscious and unconscious. Chapter 4. Active Imagination in Practice. Jung's primary tool in the Red Book was active imagination, a method he developed to engage with the unconscious. In his 1935 lecture, the Tavistock Lectures, Jung described it as a way of letting the unconscious come up, to give it a form. The process is simple but profound. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and allow an image or feeling to arise, perhaps a figure, a symbol, or a scene. Then engage with it as if it were real. Ask questions, listen for responses, and let the dialogue unfold. Jung might encounter Philemon, his wise old man, and ask, "What must I do?" The answers, he believed, came from the unconscious, offering insights the conscious mind couldn't access. You can try this yourself. Start with a question. What am I avoiding? Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and let an image emerge. Maybe a locked door, a shadowy figure, or a serene lake. Speak to it. Why are you here? Write down what comes up, without judgment. A 2023 Journal of Clinical Psychology study found that active imagination increases self-reported insight by 20% after 4 weeks, as participants uncover hidden emotions and patterns. It also reduces anxiety by 15%, as the brain processes repressed feelings in a safe, creative way. Jung used active imagination to face his shadow, the darker, hidden aspects of the psyche.
In the Red Book, he dialogues with a serpent, a symbol of his fears, and learns to accept rather than reject it. This integration is key to wholeness. As Jung wrote in 1959's The Archetypes and the Collective Unconscious, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. By engaging with the unconscious, we transform it, much like the alchemist turns lead into gold.
Chapter 5. The Global Impact. Jung's Red Book and his alchemical insights have had a profound global impact, influencing psychology, spirituality, and culture.
In psychology, Jung's concept of individuation shaped modern therapeutic practices like depth psychology and Jungian analysis, which focus on integrating the unconscious. A 2023 report from the International Association for Analytical Psychology notes that over 3,000 Jungian analysts practice worldwide, from Switzerland to Japan, helping clients achieve wholeness through techniques like active imagination. Spiritually, Jung's work has inspired movements across traditions.
In the 1960s, his ideas influenced the New Age movement, with figures like Joseph Campbell drawing on Jung's archetypes to explore universal myths.
In India, Jung's concept of the collective unconscious resonated with Advaita Vedanta's view of a unified consciousness, as noted by philosopher Haridas Chowdhury in his 1965 book, Integral Yoga. In Japan, Jung's emphasis on the unconscious paralleled Zen's focus on direct experience, with Zen scholar D.T. Suzuki engaging in dialogue with Jung in the 1950s, as documented in the Eastern Buddhist. Culturally, Jung's alchemical symbolism has permeated art and literature.
The 2010 Red Book exhibition at the Rubin Museum in New York drew over 100,000 visitors, showcasing Jung's paintings alongside Tibetan mandalas, highlighting universal themes of transformation.
Artists like Jackson Pollock and writers like Hermann Hesse, whose 1922 novel Siddhartha echoes Jungian themes, drew inspiration from his work. A 2022 art journal study notes that Jung's archetypes have influenced global art movements, from surrealism to modern abstract expressionism, reflecting a shared human quest for meaning. Chapter 6. The Quest for Wholeness. Jung's Red Book and his alchemical vision offer a timeless insight. The quest for wholeness is a universal human journey, one that transcends culture and era. By engaging with the unconscious through active imagination, we can transform our inner base metals into gold, integrating the shadow, anima, and other archetypes into a unified self, as neuroscience confirms with enhanced creativity and emotional resilience. Globally, Jung's ideas have shaped psychology, spirituality, and art, from Jungian analysis in Europe to New Age movements in America, revealing a shared longing for meaning in a fragmented world. Yet the challenge remains. Facing the unconscious requires courage, as Jung himself discovered during his 16-year journey. His Red Book stands as a testament to the power of this inner alchemy, a process that not only heals the individual, but also contributes to a more connected, conscious global community, reminding us that true wholeness begins within.